All right, welcome, and thank you very much for dropping in here. The topic on my heart here today is the difference or the similarities between meditation and prayer. Why would someone meditate? Well, the moment the desire for a meditation practice would come in, even if we want to sit, say, in simple stillness for 30 seconds, we could call that a meditation. To listen to some music or um, burn some incense, something that just helps us in the same way we use healing sensation in the Avita yoga practice, something that helps move us toward a more peaceful state of mind. So we could say anything that moves us toward a peaceful state of mind is meditation. And you've heard me talk quite a bit about that being the primary goal for the Avita yoga practice. Peace of mind is the goal of goals. We may come to the practice to help a shoulder issue or a knee issue or something like that. But what's different about this yoga and going to the physical therapist is we're here, we just gently encourage, okay, peace first. Now, let's use the knee to get closer to the problem in the knee and use everything about that knee and any fear and anything that comes up along the way to get closer to the primary goal of peace. That always, I could say that always brings favorable results. Without a doubt, when we put things in that priority, it always brings favorable results. And it does take some commitment, it takes some trust, a little faith. Um, and that is a timeless formula that works. So when we sit in meditation, what would be the idea but to really ultimately let the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs, everything in the mind, we want to let all that come to the surface where ultimately we would give it away. We want to get past the feelings and the thoughts and the beliefs that keep us from knowing peace. Now, that requires trusting that there is a peaceful state of being at the bottom of it all, which is why I sometimes use the metaphor of going down the rabbit hole. We got to be willing to go down. And so we run around, we cook in the kitchen, we decorate the house, um, we exercise, we go to parties, we travel, we do all these things that seem to make us happy, but it's always fleeting. Even finding others, finding fulfillment through others. And at some point, we start to realize that the desire for all those things is actually becoming a distraction from our ability uh, to actually just sit and be happy. A 3 week vacation could be a distraction from sitting for, for 3 minutes. To sit in stillness for 3 minutes and just let what comes up come up, to be given up so that we get closer to peace. Is meditation easy? No, in that sense, it takes a little work. It's our yoga. So, what about prayer? Well, ultimately, prayer would be the result of the yoga, the union that when I finally get through these obstacles to peace, then I'm ultimately, well, I would be in communion with pure love itself, Brahman, uh, God, Nirvana, heaven. It comes with many, many names, but it must be a love and a light that is universally available to all. It's not of this world. It's not of time and space, which we can be very thankful for that. There must be another reality, like even Plato and Socrates would suggest. Perception is not our reality. Things are not as they appear. And yet we're so convinced otherwise. So at the heart of a meditation, at the heart of prayer, it's the same. Yeah, so maybe the word meditation came in much later than the word prayer. Prayer has maybe been around for thousands of years, meditation more recent. The process and the journey would be the same. I go into prayer, be the same as going into meditation. I go into prayer to join, to find my peaceful center. Oh, and if I can't sit there in pure harmony with it and just listen to the soundless song of love in my in well, it feels like it's in my heart, but it's the heart we share, then I pray for help in getting through it because I want to know it. And many, including myself, uh, we it's not a requirement, but many of us do kind of go through a dark night. I could talk at length about mine. But sometimes it's in our darkest hour that we actually, truly get down on our knees and ask for help, as I did uh, in 2010, fall of 2010. So, so ultimately, we begin to see prayer and meditation the same. And I share this because I think it's very helpful. And I share it because sometimes we're triggered by words. If a word is triggering, if it raises up a defense within us about a word, then we can't be peaceful and have a defense going on at the same time. And so we even watch words and how they trigger us, and we sit with those. We ultimately want to get past words that could seem to take our peace away. All right, time for our asana practice. Okay, welcome. Really appreciate you practicing here with me, wherever you are, whatever time of day it is. Thank you very much for joining in. I really appreciate sharing this practice as a reflection of the love and light and the peace that we all share at the heart of it all. So we're going to uh, we're going to use the sandbags today, and we're going to spend a considerable amount of time toward the end of class with the sandbags for some shoulder work. But We'll begin. This is a 30-minute green class. So have your two sandbags handy. But for starters, we're going to begin with your legs on the wall, your head on the bolster. It's pretty hard to find a better meditation, or as I mentioned in the preceding part of this class, a prayer position. Why not? If you care to back the class up, I did share some words about the similarities between meditation and prayer. All right. Just have your hands down by your sides, palms up toward the ceiling, heels against the wall. Soften your face. Soften your rib cage, your belly. And let that be a reflection, the physical softening. Let that be a reflection of a more mental softening. Soften your thoughts right along with me. Give the body over to gravity, which lets us soften muscularly. We feel the nervous system change. Even the eyeballs get kind of heavy. Everything settles down, including the mind. But the ego mind is very concerned about us getting close to peaceful self. So the minute it suspects we're getting close, it jumps in, and then the busy mind comes in. That's the point where you might even say, oh, I got to go do the dishes. I got to go do this. I got to do that. And that's where a commitment to practice, a gentle, ongoing commitment to practice, helps us get through those moments so we can just be in peace more and more, no matter what we're doing. Okay, for now, your sandbags. We're going to hang a sandbag from each foot. Yeah, I told you we're going to work on the shoulders. We will. For the opening here, a sandbag from each foot. If you have them, if you don't, just follow along without them, and they'll hang from the ball of each foot with your head supported. Just use your eyes and look at your feet. We've been playing with this theme of getting all the toes to move congruently towards you, opening the sole of the foot, a small bit of flexion in the ankle, a small press of the center point of the heel against the wall, a small engagement of the quadriceps to extend the knees. Now, if doable, wrap your arms around the bolster, go for the interlock of the fingers under the bolster, relax your feet, turn your head to the right. Now, in the same way, you might turn on your soothing piece of music or light some incense or light a candle for a peaceful meditation, or turn on the bubble bath and pour a glass of wine. That's a meditation too. Takes many forms. But here and now, use the shape, the sensation that comes from it, as your guide to your peaceful center. Just keep coming back to the feeling, as subtle as it may be. Be here now. If the sensation grows to be too strong, when arms get tingly, gets too strong in the shoulders, then part your fingers, just move them out. It'll give you a fair amount of time and quietude in the shapes today. Soften. Allow a sense of ease to spread through your body. Eyes closed. Shoulders, arms, hands relaxed. Slowly bring your head back to the center. Switch the interlock of your fingers. Turn your head to the left. And it's in moments like this we let the subtlest of sensations be a significant undoing. There's the occasional larger breath, maybe a big sigh, indicative of a bigger release in your heart and mind. And then you just come back to easy breathing, uncontrolled, lips together, in and out of the nose. All right, bring your head back to the center. Your hands on the ends of the bolster. Slowly push the bolster away toward the wall behind you, your head to the floor. Very slowly move the bolster toward the wall behind you. Now, extending the elbows is not a requirement. In fact, let's pause a moment with the elbows bent, hands under the ends of the bolster. For some, even that is too strong on the shoulders, in which case you put your hands out in a T shape or just widen them, maybe in a Y shape. Effortless we are. Throat open, nose toward the ceiling. Observe the shape. You notice the heels against the wall, the weight of the legs, the weight of the sandbags, the impact down through your legs into the hips. You notice your backside against the floor and the position of your arms and hands, though the eyes are closed. And we can observe even the energy of the shape. Physically, we might say it's a vulnerable shape, so open. Energetically, open to all. Start to grow your arms a little more. Out of your heavy hips and your heavy legs, you start to grow your arms a little bit, straightening the elbows. And we stay toward the ends of the bolster. Not too much effort. Feel what shows up in the shoulders. You feel the openness through your midsection, the belly, the waistline, the low back, all opening the same. Chin up a bit, and the rib cage, front, back, and sides, opening the same. You might even tone the belly slightly and encourage the breath, though the breath's still quite small, up into the upper back, into the upper sides. Feel the rib cage kind of bumping up against its maximal expansion with even small sips of air. Spread the fingers, reach the arms. Play with extending the elbows, your open arms, an extension of your open torso. And your open hands, a reflection of your open heart and your open mind, devoid of evaluation. Okay, now soften once again back to an effortless quality. Release your hands. The bolster can stay where it is. Slowly float your arms down, hands down by your sides. Now, if you need the bolster under your head to help you release the sandbags, grab the bolster and do that. Otherwise, you can just one at a time remove the sandbags, set them aside. Legs back up on the wall. If you move the bolster just now, put it back so that you can position, you know the position of the bolster to have the hands either on top of it or under it. Okay, so the bolster stays there. We bend the knees, we roll to one side, push ourselves up. Left leg in front of the right. An optional sandbag on each knee. Too scary, too intense, too strong. Set the sandbags aside. Slowly curve forward. Very slowly. Use the sandbags for all their worth to shine some extra light into the hips, into the ankles, and even through the knees. Afraid of nothing, but listening acutely and adjusting according to the feedback instead of pushing for accomplishment. Tailbone is heavy. Your bones and your joints soak up the compression because they love it. Head heavy, the elbows slightly bent. It's usually the hands and arms here that offer the support to moderate the shape, keeping everything just right. Slowly uncoil. You may set the sandbags aside to change the shape, but see if you can leave them on and switch the cross of the legs. The shin closest to you, in this case, it's the left one, parallel to the wall in front of you, or parallel to the end of your yoga mat. If the sandbags are working, keep them, slowly curve forward. Raise up slowly. Pause in an upright, soft, upright shape. Set the sandbags to the sides and place the sandbags on the bolster with the handle or the strap of the sandbag facing the wall, facing you in this case. And I like to put them on in kind of a V shape so that the sandbags point to the middle. This way, when you're reaching for them in a moment, you can grab the handle and pull it back on in case they fall off. Okay, so back into the legs up the wall position. Pause a moment. Rest with your arms at your sides. Then reach overhead. If doable, you'll slide your hands under the bolster. If that's too demanding, then try putting your hands under the sandbags. We don't have to fully straighten the elbows here. Still too demanding? You could place the sandbag on each hand more in a Y or a V shape with your hands out to the side. Take your time sliding your hands under. It's pretty heavy now. If the sandbag falls off the back, hopefully you can just reach it and pull it back on. Now, tends to work best if you can use your fingers and push the bolster up on top of the wrists and the low arm so the hand sticks out the back a little bit. So part of the weight is on the forearm. The hands could be parallel, arms parallel, shoulder width apart, or wider. Maybe you have the potential here for just a moment to reach away, open the palms. The bolster moves with you as you reach away. Feel down into your rib cage, feel through your waistline, feel into the hips. And with a gentle exhale, soften, diminish the effort. Let the sandbag and the weight of the bolster hold the shape for you. Now, everything about the shape needs to feel nurturing, sustainable. A little bit of intensity could be okay, but you have to really look inside your heart for an answer to that. When in doubt, make an adjustment, reduce pressure, find a way to stay here with the shape, with the feedback in this healing moment. Spread the fingers, reach away, extend the elbows a bit, lift the chin, feel your legs, feel your heels, feel your feet, feel it all. Soften again, diminish the effort, relax. Okay, you can feel free to linger longer. If you want to finish with me here, slowly wiggle your hands free until your hands can be underneath the boulder and the elbows slightly bent. Pause there. You kind of have this Vadakanasana or a diamond shape with your hands. Feel the weight against your hands. This kind of compression is so soothing for the body and the mind, which more and more we realize are one and the same. Bring one hand slowly down by your side. Just choose one, bring it down. Rest. And gently release the second hand and arm. Hands down by your hips, palms toward the ceiling. Pause again. Feel the shape. Feel the simplicity of it. Feel the impact on your body and your mind. And just let everything open up. Open to the love and light we share. It happens to be the only thing we can truly share. Bend the knees. Roll to one side. Pause on your side a moment. Support your head with your bottom arm. Just rest a second on your side. Couple breaths. And then push yourself up. Yeah. Find a comfortable seat. And we just let the openness and the feeling of connecting, joining, be with us through the rest of the day. Why not? Hands to the heart as an outer symbol of the inner yoga. Namaste.